We're going to do a little bit of work on our fingerpicking now. Now we've been fingerpicking for quite some time now and doing our nice arpeggio patterns there, the patterns 2, 3 and 4. Now what we're going to do is get a bit customized with those patterns. So the first thing we can do is we're going to try and employ some sus4 and sus2 type licks in there. So I've just provided one here with a sus4, which is a very simple sort of a pattern there. So all we're going to do is on a D chord, play a D, we're going to, for the 1 and 2 and, that's our 1 and 2 and, nice and easy through an arpeggio, and then we're going to pluck the first string again and do a hammer on and a pull off there. And 16th notes is the hammer on the pull off, so it's quite quick. So 1 and 2 and, quite quick, and then just going back down again. That's a different kind of a finger picking pattern for us. So these two exercises, this is just an exercise purely. Try it from a sus2 chord to a D chord. So you've got a different sound there again. Up to speed they sound really nice. Different sort of a sound for the finger picking. So one more idea, so that's the first idea by the way of melody finger picking within there. We can really start to utilize what we're doing, and instead of just playing simple arpeggios we can start to do different things with it, and that's the first one, using hammer-ons and pull-offs on our sus chords. Let's have a look at the next idea. The next idea is about fattening the chords up. Now when we're just single string picking like this, the chords can sometimes sound quite thin, and it might not be the sound that you really want. Thin sounding chords, if you're just playing guitar on your own and you've got a singer there or you're singing yourself, the chords might start to sound quite thin just with the... So what we're going to do is thicken them up a little bit. Now the easiest way to thicken up a chord is using our finger picking and start to pick more than one string at a time. So let's have a look at that. We've got the same melody pattern as we did before with the hammer on and pull off. What we've done is just fatten it up slightly. So let's have a look at what we're doing. We're picking the open bass first, then that string. So far it's exactly the same. However, on the start of the second beat, we're going to pluck the first string and the second string together, and then go back there. So that part's going to go. You can already hear it sounds thicker than this. And now we've got. This was the old way. This is the new way. Already sounds a bit more thicker there. It's just fattened it up slightly, which is what we want. Now let's look at the hammer on pull off riff. You can see we're plucking both the first and second strings at the same time, and then doing the hammer off pull on lick. And then the next part of the bar is exactly the same again. So all we did was change around the middle of the bar just to thicken it up slightly, and it went from this to this. Here it just sounded a little bit thicker. So either or which sort of sound you want, it depends on the song you're writing, but just so you know how you can thicken things up. Generally it's by picking with more than one finger at once down here, and you can get some really good sounds that way. Let's just try a piece. I'll try playing a D, A and then a G chord progression using a simple sort of arpeggio pattern with the thin type playing. Let's try that same pattern now. We'll try and thicken it up slightly. I'll just do an ad-lib type pattern there. So it sounds different again there. So that's the idea that I want you to employ, especially with your songwriting or something like that, where you're finger-picking songs. Try, if you need to, especially in a chorus, you might want a bit more oomph for a chorus, and that's where you need to thicken those chords up. Naturally, if that's not the sound you want, that's not the sound you want. But if you do, just playing solo guitar and you're thinking, oh, it just doesn't quite sound right, it's a little bit thin or not fat enough, that's how you would fatten it up a wee bit, just by literally picking more than one string at a time and trying to employ these melodies and that at the same time. Just adds a bit of interest to your playing. So you've got the two exercises there, so I'd highly recommend that you work on them quite a lot and quite intensely to get them perfectly right. So on the D chord, there's no reason you can't apply the same things to an A chord or an E chord. Something like that there. Again, just employing the little finger to get out there and thicken these chords up, and with the right hand technique as well.